But Purdue outscores Washington 47-28 in the second half. And now the Boilermakers, they've been unbeaten in January. They're 5-0 in this month. They have won 6 in a row since the drubbing that they took to Auburn. You credit them for playing that game. Trey Kaufman-Renn with 19 and 6. Braden Smith with 17.6 rebounds, 5 assists. Was it the prettiest game, McCall? No. Purdue only shot 3 for 13 from 3, but they win it by double figures. They've got Oregon this weekend. When we're talking about the Big Ten, I feel like we've been giving Michigan a lot of credit, Illinois a lot of credit, Michigan State a lot of credit, and I think it's important for people to remember Purdue's still there, and they have a first team All-American caliber player in Braden Smith. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I've been saying it. I mean, I said it on our Hot Take show when we were doing it live from ACC Media Day. Like, I get it. The back-to-back National Player of the Year's gone. Maybe they take a little bit of a step back, but they're still going to be right there in the fight because Matt Painter's a really, really good coach. And they have 2 guards on their team that took a lot of heat 2 years ago for getting knocked out in the first round of the NCAA tournament. It's interesting when you think about it. I don't know about you guys. I'd love to get your take. I'm looking at these teams and I'm like, okay, when these Big Ten teams have to go out west, just get a split. We saw Michigan go out there. We saw them win 2. We saw Illinois go out there. We saw them win 2. We saw Maryland go out there. We saw them not win a game. It's like, if you can just go out there and get one, maybe we should talk more about the West Coast teams coming to the East and just got to get a split. But it seems like somehow we're always talking about the teams that are having to go out to the West Coast and play these games because it's difficult, it's travel, there's time change, everything like that. And maybe there's an adjustment and you're not going to play great in the first half. Just find a way to win the game. And that's what Purdue did. And that's what good teams do. They find a way to win the game. And you said it, Danny Sprinkle, year 1, he's got a great, terrific player and great Asabor. They're going to be a good team moving forward, but Purdue found a way to win the game. That's the most important thing. Nothing else matters. Now they got a couple days. They got to get ready for Oregon. But these West Coast trips that we don't talk about the West Coast teams coming to the East enough, in my opinion. But these teams going out there find a way to get one, and that's what Purdue did.
Henson, thoughts?
I agree.
Purdue? How good are they?
I mean, you look at the losses: Marquette at Penn State, which isn't a terrible loss by any means, A&M and Auburn. So it's not like they're sitting there just dropping games, and we're just like, oh my goodness, like these are tough losses. And Coach Call's got a good point. Listen, when I played in the NBA, going out west on getting out of our Mercedes Benzes and flying on these private jets, and all we had to do was focus on basketball, no school, none of that study hall, and just we're staying at the Four Seasons. Like, we still struggle sometimes. And so that's I can't imagine flying out. Like, I never flew out west when I played in college, but that would be hell, man. Like, because you got to come back and then you got to go to class, right? So, like, when you come back and you're professional, you just go to sleep, take a nap, get some recovery, get in the hot tub. It doesn't work like that for college. So, for Purdue to go out west and win this first one and get the first one under your belt, I think that's the biggest thing on a West Coast trip is just getting that first one under your belt, maybe getting the win. And splitting would be good. If they can win 2 out there, cool. If you split it, that works too. Gotta take that professional model when you're going across the country because it's tough. Like, you've seen Stanford in the ACC. I mean, they haven't gotten close to winning the game coming out to the East. So credit to Purdue. They're a really good team. Kind of under the radar, but please believe if they go out there and they beat Oregon, they'll be right back in our conversations. They'll be right back on the radar as far as the national public of people talking about them, without Zach Edey.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think the other thing is, Coach, how about the development of Trey Kaufman-Renn? I heard on the broadcast tonight, Matt Painter told the crew, he's like, well, yeah, you're going to get more opportunities with Zach Edey gone, but you also as a player have to be able to raise everything that you're doing. And TKR, when we're talking about leaps and improvements in the Big Ten, I don't think anybody's taken the leap that he's taken for this Purdue program.
He's also been there for 3 years.
I would hate playing against him. That's a guy. It's tough.
Like he's stayed. Like he didn't jump ship. He didn't jump in the portal and say, "Hey, look, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. I'm going somewhere else." No, I'm going to stick to this process, this development process. I'm going to wait my turn. That to me is why he's having success. He knows the system. He knows the style. He knows what his head coach wants. It's great to see. We need to see more of that. And I get it. I mean, I get the portal. And if it's not going well for you, let me go here. Let me see if it's works better here, or if this is a better fit for me, or style of play, or NIL, whatever it may be. But there's still some of these guys that are like, no, made this decision. This is where I'm going. I'm going to wait my turn. I'm going to wait my opportunity. And when I get it, I'm going to make the most of it.